So a few months ago, I was celebrating a friend's birthday at one of her favorite dive bars where you walk in through a fridge.
Oh wow, interesting. You went to a birthday party and you went through an entrance that's a bit like a fridge. Why is it that all these videos had to come up with some kind of, oh, I was doing this, that the other day, and then this happened? Seriously, nobody cares. Get to the point.
There's nothing cooler. Get it? Cool. There's nothing cooler than walking into the fridge, going to get some drinks.
Yeah, good one. No.
And I was standing in line, waiting to buy her a drink, just answering work emails, when this guy said,
Hi there. Traveling from Australia. What are you doing here?
"Oh, hi, cool. I'm here for a friend's birthday."
Nice, birthdays. I'm an engineer. What do you do?
Well, it's LA, so I'm an actress and comedian.
I know, my Commonwealth brethren. A comedian with jokes like that. That's so bad, isn't it? Jesus Christ, man. But hey, look, this is pretty innocuous, people. I don't know why she's gotten all angry about all this, but hey, look what the guy looks like. Look what he sounds like. You know why she's got an issue.
Comedian? That's funny. Tell me something funny.
Well, I don't ask you to engineer on your off time, so...
That's funny.
Lame. And oh, he just committed a cardinal sin. He hugged her without her permission. Oh no. Is this what the video's about, people? Is this really what the video's about? People who just so happen to act human with other humans, and this person may not have wanted it. He's not actually doing anything wrong. He's not feeling any entitlement or anything like that, but that's apparently entitlement. Okay, now I know what this video's about, even though it clearly says that in the title. But now we know it's about nothing in particular that is of any interest to anybody.
Freeze frame on this gross invasion of personal space.
Yeah, but notice how this is all about men doing it to women at the moment, but not women doing it to men. But then again, we don't really complain about this stuff because we've got other things to worry about. Yeah, it's not like it happens to us as well. And how is it a gross invasion of privacy? All he's doing is hugging you. You might not like it, but it's one hug. He's not doing anything any worse than that. And people do this on a daily basis.
Now at this point, my natural inclination was to tell him that I had a boyfriend. Because guys at bars don't normally talk to you or touch you unless they're trying to hit on you.
Oh look, sexist stereotype, but it's okay because she's a woman. Yeah, because apparently men only want to talk to a woman unless they want to hit on her in the bar. No. I think you'll find that men and women talk to each other at the bar without needing to hit on each other or with any desire to. I think you'll find that some people just like talking, and the bar isn't always a place for people to get laid at, okay? It is a social place, it provides a social function. Sometimes people end up chatting to each other and they'll never meet again, and that's okay. What you did there was just say, oh guys, they'll only talk to you at the bar unless they want to hit on you. That's like me saying that girls are only negative when they're on their periods or something. It's something stereotypical like that. That's wrong.
But then I was wondering, do I really need to be someone else's property for you to respect me?
This isn't Saudi Arabia. When a woman and a man enter a relationship, they're not somebody else's property in the West. What the hell?
So what's your name?
Anna.
Oh, I love that name, Hannah.
No, it's Anna.
Oh, I'm sorry, Anna.
Could they have actually found somebody who can do accents? Because his Australian accent is awful, and also men aren't like that. Some people might be like that, but maybe he's autistic, I don't know. Maybe he's just a bit drunk and is a bit in a huggy mood, I don't know. But you're trying to pass this off as men are like this, when they're not. Some guys don't like touching people at all. Because people have different ideas of what constitutes privacy and stuff like that, because we're individuals.
Then he did it again. Now at this point, I knew that I wanted to tell him to stop, but I thought of all the different ways that I could approach it, right? I could be nice. You seem like a fine, decent person, but that makes me feel really uncomfortable, so please stop touching.
Yeah, you could do that, and I doubt he would care. But of course, this is something that happened in her real life, people. Real life. So obviously, things aren't going to go the way that normal human interaction will go.
I could be mean. Get the fuck off me, you strange man! Stranger danger! Stranger!
So basically, being an awful person to him is okay, rather than being a decent human being and being a decent adult and just simply telling him, I am not comfortable in these situations with anybody, could you refrain from this? This is apparently an okay thing for women to do to men, being horrible to them rather than being diplomatic and just being adults. This is what she's telling her subs, her 1,600,000 subscribers, and apparently varying as a bully and is spreading toxic shit. Yeah, this woman's totally not actually that, but whatever, people.
Could speak for women everywhere. I know you and other men are gonna hide behind the excuse of, oh what, we can't talk to people anymore? Conversation starters are evil now? What a bitch. But you know what? If your only intent is to get into my pants, then fuck you.
This is usually what feminists do. But then again, how do you know in this scenario that that's what he wants to do to you? You've not shown in any way that he wants to have sex with you. He's just talking to you and being nice. And hugged you twice, and you didn't like the hugging, and you could have told him the first time, and he would never have done it again, unless he was an asshole, or deaf, or just weird. But no, instead you make a big deal out of somebody hugging you, and claim he's entitled, when clearly he's not acting entitled, or appears interested in anything other than getting you into bed, which you've not actually shown. In fact, you've shown him to look rather creepy, as if this is what all men are like. Which, by the way, is sexist, but it's okay when you do it. It's funny that when she talks about not being able to talk to the opposite sex anymore, it's this attitude that she has that led to laws in place, like in Nottinghamshire, where if somebody feels offended at you talking to them or doing any kind of social interaction to them, you can be done for hate speech or hate laws. So, yeah, well done, Amana. Well done.
Because if I were a dude, you wouldn't look at me twice.
Well, if he was bisexual, maybe he would do that. You didn't think about that, eh, you biphobe?
And you wouldn't demand that I pay attention to you, and you wouldn't put your clammy hands all over me without my permission.
Actually, yes, they do that. Bisexual men and gay men do this, as do lesbian women and bisexual women. It's a human trait that is shared across the genders, by the way, and you're making this out that only straight guys do this to straight women, or to women in general, when that's not the case, because gay men do it to men who could be bi or could be straight, and bi men do it to guys who could be gay or could be straight, and women do it to other women and to other men, and this is not something you can create a political issue out of because it's something that humans do. And some of it is simple miscommunication, other times it can be nefarious. But I think most of the time, it's just simple miscommunication and it can be dealt with through talking it out for about 10 seconds, saying, I don't like that, please don't do it. Okie dokie, I won't do it. There you go, probably less than 10 seconds.
I am a human being, not a piece of meat for you to conquer while you're traveling abroad, you selfish Australian bastard!
Throughout this entire video, that is the attitude that you have displayed towards straight men. That's what you think we think about you guys. And I think you'll find a minority are probably like that, and we don't like them either. But what we don't like is being saddled with these people, and then other people who aren't straight men get away with it, because apparently they don't exist. Apparently they don't do bad things, they don't do this type of shit. They're apparently incapable of doing it, even though they're human beings, with the same thoughts, emotions and feelings and all sorts of experiences that we deal with. They're part of the same genome, apparently, but hey, they don't do this. It's impossible.
Or I could just speak for myself. Dislike, block.
Wait, what? You're gonna block him on Facebook and he might not even ask you to befriend him on Facebook? I don't even, people. I don't even.
Instead, I did nothing.
Oh, shock horror, you did nothing. Why am I not surprised? And this is why you're complaining about it. In this scenario, you have no one to blame but yourself because you didn't lay out the boundaries, so he hugged you twice. So it's still the man's fault for not knowing any of this, but should know all of this anyway. Even though you didn't say anything, you didn't tell him anything, so he's just assuming that you like it, and you wonder why he does it.
Because my drink was ready, and I grabbed it, and I escaped the situation. But not before he touched me.
Again, you didn't express the boundaries, you didn't tell him to stop, and he did it again, because he assumed you were letting him, which technically, you were. This is not him acting entitled, this is him probably being himself, and what he does with his friends, and people that he knows, are different people who aren't like you. You need to make that clear to him. He's not being entitled. Again, he's being nice, or at least what he thinks is being nice. Obviously, you don't think it's nice. This is miscommunication. Nothing to do with sexism, nothing to do with him being a man, just two different personalities that don't match.
And look, I know not all guys are like this, okay? I've had plenty of conversations with dudes at parties or at bars where they're just looking to have a good time and...
So why before did you say that men are only interested in talking to women at parties and bars if they want to get laid? Why did you say that? And by men you mean straight men, not bi men, not gay men who also do this, and also women who do it as well. Women do it. No, instead straight men do this. But now you've decided that you're going to add a disclaimer, like you all do, all you feminists do, hashtag not all men, as if that makes your argument different, when we all know that the main point has already been made that we all do this. Please, this doesn't make you look like you're all for equal rights. This doesn't make you look like you don't dislike us, okay? It's quite clearly damage control and backpedaling. It just makes you look dishonest. It just makes you look like a hypocrite.
Not be creepy and weird. And I know that this kind of creepy stuff happens to guys too. Like,
that's not what you said. You said if you were a guy, the guy wouldn't do it because he would be scared, or just wouldn't do it in the first place because that person, you, is a man. But now you're saying that it does happen to men, but it's worse when it's women. So are you saying that women and gay men are also entitled to people's bodies? Is that what you're saying? Because that's not what you said before. Again, more backpedaling and hypocrisy.
once at a meeting, my boyfriend was very clearly and uncomfortably hit on by a producer.
I've been a big producer in Hollywood for a very long time now, and I notice a star as soon as I see one. I don't know why you're hanging around with her. You can do everything yourself, you don't need her. I've known many stars in my life, and they all did whatever they needed to do in order to get to where they are. I'm talking A-list, B-list, C-list, all the lists, you name it. They're on it. It just takes one little act of charity.
You know, this suddenly doesn't make the points you made before invalid. This doesn't make you saying that, oh, you're doing this because blah 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 blah. This just makes you look like a hypocrite. And yes, this has happened to me in real life. Although, not for a long time now, because I also don't go out as much anymore and, well, I've got better things to worry about than somebody hitting on me. And let me guess, you didn't do anything about it, eh, Omana? You just sat there getting passive-aggressive. And also, I don't buy that he would do that right in front of you. Surely he knew you were his partner. In fact, he knew. That's why I said, what are you doing with her? Why would he hit on him in front of you? That's insane. I don't buy this story. But then again, that just means that now I, in your counter-argument, say it doesn't happen to men, when clearly it does. See what I mean, people?
But this kind of entitlement, where someone feels like they're owed your body or your attention or your time, happens all too often.
I don't think that's entitlement. The first one clearly was not entitlement, that was someone being nice. The second one was something that is, I don't know, rather impossible to believe actually happened. If anything, he was just being creepy. I wouldn't say he was being entitled. And again, how can you prove psychologically that he is acting entitled? And again, in this video, you've not even said that women do it to other men. It's just a thing that men do. Because your other example was a gay man doing it to another man. So apparently women don't do it, even though they do. I've had friends and family who have been hit on by people the same sex as them, male and female, and you know what? They don't really care because they've got other problems to deal with. And I don't think those people were being entitled. I think they were just trying to be brave and ask these people on dates or to try their luck. I don't think that's necessarily entitlement. Who knows, maybe they were also creepy, but I don't know. I don't know these people.
And I don't know what the best way to react is.
How the hell can you be so socially awkward to not know how to react to something like that? Clearly, you tell them you do not like it. It's not rocket science.
You know, like, how do you turn someone down? What's the best way to clarify that you're not interested?
Do you mean to tell me that you've never been in the position of rejecting people, ever? That you don't know what to do? I know it's not easy, but at the end of the day, you have to do this. Otherwise, they're going to continue to try their luck. This isn't them being entitled. In fact, what you have described is not entitlement. This seems like normal human behaviour. I guess it would be entitlement if you were to say, stop doing that, and then they freak out over it. Then I can say, yes, that's entitlement, but you're not showing things that looks like entitlement. At the end of the day, you have to say no. Obviously nice, obviously with respect, and like an adult, unless they're being horrible. In that case, go ahead, be a dick to them, because they're being dicks to you.
Because sometimes a person says,
Hey, you want to get coffee sometime?
and you want to be 100% clear and say, yeah, sure, I'd love to catch up as friends. But their response will be,
Fuck you! Why would you think I would want to be more than friends with you? You're fat and ugly and dumb, and you hurt my ego because you rejected me, and that is an idea that's foreign to me!
This is not how normal people talk to each other, and I'm pretty sure that's not how a normal person would respond to such a thing. What? Why don't you just say some people react negatively to rejection? But then again, that's them rejecting you. None of this makes sense now.
this is a very weird and complex issue, which I don't feel like I can accurately distill down to a few minutes.
No, you've made it overly complicated. It's really not that complicated. Just say, I am uncomfortable with this. I do not like it. Can you please refrain from doing that? Done. And if they react in a psychopathic rage, well, extricate yourself from the situation, or you can go toe to toe, or maybe get some help from your friends and they can deal with them. Or if it's at a bar, bouncers are everywhere.
Especially because it's something that that I'm still going through myself.
Oh, it's a complicated issue because I go through it. I suffer this still. Well, why don't you just either go to different places with your boyfriend, speak to different producers, or you can both sit at home, play video games, and not have to bother with the outside world, like a lot of nerds do. Just saying, that's how you can deal with this situation if you don't want to talk to them.
But if you have any experience with this or any advice, please let me know. Because the next time someone feels entitled to my body, I just might react like this. I'm Anna Akana. Stay awesome, Gotham.
That was a movie reference, but I know what you were trying to do there. You were trying to say if they do this and they act entitled, which by the way, what you showed in this video does not show entitlement. That just shows miscommunication and or creepiness, which, to give you credit, and which could be right, their creepiness could come out of entitledness, but I don't know. So you're gonna just say to your 1.6 billion subs that yeah, violence is an answer. If another person who's never done it to you before does it, and you assume that they're being entitled. Well, people, I don't know how they live. I don't know how they put up with life. But anyway, this has been CharmingMan93. Like and share the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all later.